This is the Lego Mindstorms EV3 cube solver. You can get the instructions on MindCuber.com and go to the EV3 section. This is a cube that isn't very shuffled right now. I'm going to shuffle it. I would recommend using an original 3x3 Rubik's Cube. Not any different colors because the color sensor could malfunction and get the wrong colors. And we don't want that happening, do we? This is another cube we have. It's not very good. It's a fake one. It's not a real Rubik's Cube one with the symbol. It's not a real Rubik's Cube company, and so it's pretty good. It can move pretty good, but the colors faded, and we had to make the green better and the black and the yellow turned into black. So it sometimes solves, but usually even if it does solve without a scan error, it solves incorrectly. So I would just recommend you should just use a normal Rubik's Cube, and it needs to be able to move very easily because it can get stuck in that. And so you don't want it to be too greasy or oily if you put anything to make it better, because then the color sensor could sense the reflected light intensity wrong. So it could do orange to red. Orange, it might sense orange is red and red is orange, and yellow is white and white is yellow. So you should just know about that. So this is the cuber. That's the color sensor that senses all the colors on the cube. That motor moves it so that when it needs to, it'll move over the turntable where the Rubik's Cube is. That motor, the white and gray one, no, the orange and gray one, moves the turntable, which spins the Rubik's Cube. And this flips the Rubik's Cube so that when it's like this, it'll turn it so that it's like this. And also, when the turntable needs to move the bottom, it'll keep the top two in place so that the bottom can move like that. And then, yeah, so I'm going to be putting it in, and the head senses when the Rubik's Cube comes in, and when it does, it'll just start automatically, and the color sensor will start by scanning it so it knows exactly what moves it can do. So it's starting and it's scanning, and sometimes you can have scan errors because it didn't scan correctly, or it doesn't understand. And sometimes if you have a cube with the edges misplaced, it'll probably have a scan error because it's you can't solve it with the misplaced edge or corner. So you should know that if you build this. And you just need one Lego Mindstorms EV3 set, and it usually scans once or twice. If it scans 3 times and it still doesn't get it, it'll have a scan error and you need to shuffle it or get a new cube that is correctly the pieces are correctly placed in it. Except sometimes the pieces are correctly placed and it just doesn't scan correctly. It's a very good thing to build. It's very entertaining, and right now it's calculating the moves to do. And now it's just going by itself. It won't stop. It'll just go. And then when it's done, it spins as a victory dance type thing. And on the brick, it tells the state scanning or solving. And when the cube's done, it says solved. And it tells you how many moves it took and how many seconds it took. You can play them. So it's very fast. You can play them. It has 116 steps. And it's very educational because it has a few gears in it, and Lego is usually educational. You can program it to do anything you want. or you can just use the program they give you, and there it is. It's solved, and that's like the victory dance I talked about and it's fully solved. I'm going to be putting in the black cube, and it'll probably not solve because it might even just have a scan error. So I would just usually use this one, but you need to have a new software, a firmware update. You need to get 1.5, and I think when you get it, it's usually 1.3. And somehow this time it didn't have a scanner, and it calculated, and it's just going right now. You need to download the program and this new color sensor block, but like everything, like the firmware and the color sensor block and the program, if you don't make a mistake and you know what you're doing, it'll probably take about 30 minutes to 20 minutes. Yeah. You might have to re-download something if it doesn't work, and read the instructions carefully, because that's what happened to me. It didn't work at first because I didn't read it correctly, and then even if it solves, it might not solve fully correctly because the colors are all mixed up, and it might sense something wrong. And it actually did sense correctly, and it's fully solved. And a Rubik's Cube with this is how long it takes for a Rubik's Cube with just one move difference, and I'll show you how it happens. It'll obviously take about 30 seconds just to solve it, and yeah, it'll take 30 seconds to scan it, and then it'll like it'll take like at least one move, but sometimes it'll take more because it needs to flip it, and then it's solved. So this will take more than 30 seconds because it just has to scan, or else it can't like just go. So that is the Lego Mindstorm's EV3 Cube Solver from MindCuber, and I hope you build it if you have one of these sets, or even get one of these sets, because it's very good. You might not get mixed up. You might get mixed up with the instructions because they're not as good as the exact Lego software instructions, but they're pretty easy to understand, and it's really good. Thanks.